Our first speaker is Larry Chavez. Larry has been a Toastmaster for 3 years. He's giving his third speech from the Advanced Communication Manual titled, The Life of Ordinary. His speech will be 7 to 9 minutes. Please welcome Larry Chavez, The Life of Ordinary. The Life of Ordinary, Larry Chavez.
Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, have you ever felt like a nobody? Well, the story today is about a nobody whose name was Ordinary. And he lived in Anywhere, USA, in the state of comfort zone. Every day, Ordinary went to his usual job. He saw his usual friends. He did his usual routine. He came home and he ate his usual supper. And then he went to his favorite reclining chair, propped his feet up, and watched a box that mesmerized him into sleep. And this went on day in and day out. And Ordinary was comfortable in his reality because it was safe. But one night, he went to sleep. And the dream maker came and gave him an extraordinary dream, a large dream. In the morning, he jolted out of bed, fearful of such a large dream. And he wondered why the dream maker had chosen him, a nobody who was just ordinary, to have an extraordinary dream. On his way to work, he could hardly wait to tell his usual friends about his extraordinary dream. But the closer he got to work, he thought, they'll laugh at me. They'll make fun of my great dream. After all, we just live in familiar. We have a familiar routine every day. So Ordinary rethought that. He says, no, I'm not going to tell anyone. Perhaps tonight I'll go talk to my father. So sure enough, after work, the dream kept nagging at him. He went and he spoke to his father. He says, Father, I've had this extraordinary dream from the dream maker. I don't know what to make of it. And his father says, it doesn't surprise me. You had that dream when you were young, but you forgot it. You got comfortable. He said, do you remember the story in the Bible about the talents? No, Father, I don't. So once upon a time, there was 3 servants. And the master gave the first servant 3 talents. And he says, go out and take care of my money. The second servant, he gave 2 talents. And he said, go out and take care of my money. The third servant, he gave 1 talent. And he says, go out and take care of my money. Many years later, the master came back. And he said to the first servant, what did you do with my talents? He says, I went out and I multiplied them. He says, great. You're a good and faithful servant. You keep the 6 talents. He went to the second one. He says, what did you do with my talents? He said, I multiplied them. I have 4 talents. He says, great, you good and faithful servant. Go out and keep the talents. The third one, he said, what did you do with my talent? He says, I partied. I was scared, so I hid the talent. He says, you ugly, evil servant. And he threw him out of the state of comfort zone. He said, you, son, are a 3-talent child. And you have to pursue your dream. Because the dream maker has given you 3 talents. Ordinary was so excited. The next day he packed his bags. He said goodbye to his friends. But friends, being the good friends they are, said, remember, Ordinary, a lot of people have tried that journey, but they always come back to the state of comfort. Back to Anywhere, USA. But Ordinary was determined to go on his journey. And as he crossed the line, the state line of comfort zone into the borderlands, he started encountering the giants. Giants he never expected. The giant of discouragement. He felt discouraged because he didn't find his dream. He wasn't even sure what the dream was leading him to. The second giant he encountered was the one of regret. He regretted leaving the comfort of his home. He wanted to go back to his reclining chair to watch the box with his ordinary friends. He was scared. The the third giant he encountered? The giant of what if. What if I don't make it? What if I drown? What if I die? What if I fail? And he was so discouraged. He had been walking for days trying to find his utopia. He sat under a tree and began to cry. He was broken, like many of us are. But all of a sudden, an angel appeared to him, and her name was Faith. And he was alarmed. He says, "What are you doing here? Who are you?" And she told him, "I am the angel Faith. And if you want to defeat your giants, you have to do one of three things. You have to do three things. First, you must have a vision of where you're going. The second thing you must have is you must believe that you can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens you. And the third thing you have to do is you have to have faith. The faith of a mustard seed will sprout a whole new world for you." He says, "That's great." He says, "So can I call you when I'm scared?" She says, "I'm in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. You can call me anytime. But remember, three things that defeat giants: vision, prayer, and faith." So off he went, excited, skipping as he went along, humming a tune. After days and days of searching for the utopia, he came to the river of life. And he became scared because the river was wide and full of turbulent water. As he decided, well, I'm going to swim to the other side because there must be a utopia on the other side of that river of life. As he started swimming, he started to drown. He called for the dream maker. And the dream maker's voice came out. He says, "I am the Lord who rescues you." With a newfound inspiration, he decided, I'm going to make it. And sure enough, he makes it to the other side of the bank. And he finds his utopia where he finds a whole bunch of other ordinary people. And he started living his extraordinary dream, helping ordinaries become somebodies. Matter of fact, he even started a Toastmaster chapter. And he mentored people. And he was excited. But one day, he thought about, what am I doing? Am I getting comfortable again? And the angel of faith appeared. And she says, remember, don't cast your pearls before swine, because they'll be trampled. You have to maintain the dream. You have to maintain gratitude, and you have to maintain focus and vision. At the end of the day, he went on, and he found another utopia and another utopia. And the reason is because if you stay in your comfort zone, you will get the disease of apathy. And with apathy, you will sit there and watch the box and wait for another day. Fellow Toastmasters, today if you hear his voice, won't you answer his call? Remember, success starts at the end of your comfort zone. Mr. Toastmaster.